Hey everybody, yeah, it's Thursday afternoon. Just got off work, finally getting around to doing another beer review. Tuesday I made a road trip to out of town and picked up a bunch of beers that I'm not able to get locally, and I want to do one of those today. It's the Samuel Adams Fat Jack. If you watch my review on the pumpkin ale that was in that fall sampler pack, you know I wasn't real impressed with it. So hopefully this is better. It says pleasantly plump and satisfied in this rich and luscious brew, indulges in flavor with over 28 pounds of pumpkin per barrel for a full-bodied sweetness and deep russet color. The one in the sampler pack said they had 11 pounds per barrel. So hopefully there'll be a little more. I didn't get a lot of pumpkin in that one. It says classic pumpkin pie spices like cinnamon, nutmeg, and allspice ignite a warmth and spark that's deepened by an undercurrent of roasty smoked malts. The result is a delectable brew full of enveloping layers of flavor and spice. At Samuel Adams, we love experimenting. This series of limited edition brews represents some of our favorite small batch creations. They say hops, East Kent Goldings, Fuggle Malts. They use Samuel Adams 2-row pale malt blend, caramel 60, special B, and smoked malt. And it says extras, real pumpkin, cinnamon, ginger, nutmeg, and allspice. So hopefully this is better than the one in their sampler pack, and hopefully nearly as good as the Schlafly, which is my favorite. Just got your standard Sam Adams cap on it. It's a big bottle, 8.5% ABV, 25 IBUs, so probably I won't be drinking this whole thing here. So I'm just going to pour a partial glass, get a cap in the bottle, and finish the rest when I get home. That's a good looking beer. We got a nice dark amber color, a couple fingers of a fluffy, slightly off-white head, a little darker than tan. Nice looking beer. Got a mixture of all kinds of bubbles in there, big and small. Mostly small at the bottom. The big ones are all at the top, but seems to be a decent amount of carbonation streaming up. So let me get a nose on this and see what we have. Okay, I'm getting a little more pumpkin than on the other one. Primarily, again, I'm getting those spices: the cinnamon, nutmeg, the allspice, maybe a hint of anise. Nutmeg's the most evident. Maybe even a light licorice note in there. But seems like a fairly subtle aroma for an 8.5% beer, but let me give it a taste. Okay, I'm getting more of the maltiness. I am getting, they said smoked malt extras, so I'm getting a bit of smokiness in it. Still not getting a lot of pumpkin. I'm getting little hints of the spices in there, nutmeg, the cinnamon. What pumpkin there is about the same strength as the spices. It's not really pumpkin forward like I was expecting from a pumpkin beer, but leaves a nice slightly syrupy sweetness on the palate. But it's mostly that maltiness and a lot of that smoky maltiness in there. It seems to be, it's better than medium bodied. It's going on full bodied beer. There is a little bit of a carbonation tingle in it, but the spices and pumpkin and everything are mixed fairly evenly. Hang on. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. There were some people coming by. I guess they're heading down to the pond behind me to go fishing. So I just had to shut everything up real quick. So anyway, this is a They said there's still not a lot of pumpkin in there. They said 28 pounds per barrel. I don't know if that's a lot or not, but it seems like they could probably use a little bit more, for my taste anyway. But it's mostly a malty beer with those pumpkin spices so far. So, as I was starting to say on the mouthfeel, it's over medium bodied. It's going on a full bodied beer. There's that light carbonation tingle. Finish is fairly clean, but again, you get that there's that maltiness on the finish. You maybe get a little more of the pumpkin on the finish, but you sure don't get a lot of the pumpkin from the front of the palate through the middle, and not a whole lot on the finish. But there is a little more pumpkin on the finish. But maybe this is one that needs to be drank a little bit warmer. So I'm going to add a little more, and then let me sip on this, let it warm up a bit. I'll be back after a while with the final thoughts and grade. Hi there. Hey, I'm back. I'm obviously not at the place I was. I'm back home now. Just got home, downloaded everything to the computer, and realized my conclusion didn't finish on this beer. But as this has warmed up, the pumpkin has come out a little more, but it's still almost even with the with the spices. In fact, it's still slightly, possibly even overwhelmed by the spices. This is more like to me, it's more like a spice beer than a pumpkin beer. There is some pumpkin there. It's still, like I said, it came out a little more, but it's still not overwhelming the spices. When I want a pumpkin beer, I want a pumpkin forward beer, and this is still not a pumpkin forward beer. I don't know. They said they put 28 pounds of pumpkin in it. Well, I think they maybe need to add a little more or tone back on their spices or something. But the smokiness is still, the smoky malts are still primarily on the odor. In fact, they've come out a little more on the odor. Are still the primary thing on the odor. It's still just a malty beer with pumpkin type spices. In my consideration, it's a good drinkable beer. A little above average for pumpkin beers. I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. The Samuel Adams Fat Jack. They call it a double pumpkin. Maybe they ought to triple their pumpkin. I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. Decent beer, not outstanding beer. Definitely not as good as a Schlafly. I'd love to try the Southern Tier Pumpkin sometime. We can't get it here. I did have one subscriber said he gonna send me some. I sent him my address and never saw it. So I would like to try that sometime. If there's some way I could get it, I'd appreciate it. But 7 out of 10 for the Samuel Adams Fat Jack. Till next time, everybody, cheers. Let's keep drinking good beer.